In 1978, we came to the Bloomsbury farm and started our own genetics operation. At that time, there were, I would estimate, about 50 purebred family farm operations that sold breeding stock, so it was quite competitive. Well, in 1985, that was already the time when health was becoming a big issue, and we made the decision to depopulate. We wanted to preserve our genetics that we had worked on for those few years. We wanted to preserve them, so we decided to take our herd to another site and clean our own site up totally and do cesareans. We ended up doing 50 cesareans and raised all the babies by hand. My wife did a lot of that. We'd gather colostrum from dairy farms around and cracked eggs from chicken farmers and make a concoction there that the pigs did really well on. So we did that over a 6-month period, and then eventually that herd was a very high health herd, and that enabled us to market a lot more animals because people were becoming more and more conscious of health. Genetics really was always sort of in the forefront of my interest, and so Alberta Swine Breeders initially was the group that coordinated some of the aspects of all of the 50 breeders that there were in Alberta, and so I became quite involved with that organization. In the early 90s, as the industry was changing and more and more of these small family farm breeders were dropping off because the commercial farms were getting bigger and bigger, we decided to form Peak Swine Genetics, and there were 5 of us, of the bigger swine breeders, that got together to form Peak Swine Genetics. And at the same time, we formed a smaller company that was intended more for the export aspect, and that was called Polar Genetics. And out of these genetics companies, then we worked hard to get a big commercial operation going in the Barrhead area called Bar West Pork. It's 2,500 sows. That involved some foreign investment from Taiwan, as well as many shareholders that are local. That farm continues to operate quite successfully now. Well, Peak really is the one that is the closest to me, and it's sort of the core of the whole thing, and the others branch off of that. So I'm very proud of how we were able to maintain Peak for over 20 years, since 1995, and how we were able to market pigs genetics and improve genetics and market genetics all over Alberta and Montana and some of the Saskatchewan and BC and exporting too. In all of this time, our family was host to many students that did their practicums here from many countries of the world, from Germany, from Austria, from Holland, from Brazil, Uruguay, Ecuador, Mexico, China, many countries. And so we as a family are really proud of how we were able to continue that on and have the contacts now to visit people or communicate with people in other countries. Pig farming isn't the only thing that's changed. I think the same kind of tendencies are throughout other industries as well. In some economic drivers, I think, for the pig industry are the exchange rate between the Canadian and the U.S. dollar, some of the tariffs that have occurred over the years on pig products, the COOL program, some disease things like PED more recently, and also the swine flu that was there a few years ago. They've all had huge economic impact on the pig industry. Integration, I think, has had a major impact on it as well, and just the fact that we are an international market, which many years ago we weren't so much, and we definitely rely on exports. My passion for the swine industry is, well, genetics has always been a driver, and improving genetics. Marketing has been a driver, and just the people around just have been so good. The people at Peak, the people at Bar West, the people, you know, the international people, all the students. That's what drives me, and the successes of some of the projects. That really drives me. That makes me excited. It's humbling to get this recognized in this way by the industry. I like to thank whoever organized it, and Pearl Levine from Peak Swine Genetics nominated me for this award, and I'd like to thank her for doing that.